To really get who Thomas Shelby is, you have to understand that deep down, he's still a soldier. His story is all about ambition and, yeah, a whole lot of ruthlessness. But what we're gonna do here is break down how the war in France never really ended for him. It just moved to the streets of Birmingham and built an empire.
And really, this quote says it all, doesn't it? They came back from the war with nothing but nightmares and a plan. That's the core of this whole thing. For Tommy and his brothers, the war was never over. The nightmares, well, that was the cost. But the plan, that was everything. That was how they were going to survive.
Because really, this entire story is about how the trauma of World War I built an empire for one man and almost destroyed him in the process. Think about it. Every single move he makes, every risk, every enemy, it's all seen through the eyes of a guy who survived the trenches. He saw the absolute worst of what people could do and basically decided, okay, if I can't beat the chaos, I'm going to become the chaos.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. From soldier to gangster, his first battlefield, back home. The year is 1919. Officially, the war is over. But for Tommy, not even close. He gets back to this gritty, smoky Birmingham, and right away, he starts using his war skills for a totally different kind of fight.
And you can see it's literally the same strategy, just a different battlefield. In the trenches, you need intel. In Birmingham, he uses spies and informants, right? Think of Grace. In the war, you use divide and conquer. What does he do? He starts a war with the Lee family just so he can become an ally to the big boss, Billy Kimber. It's genius. And when it's time to act, the execution is ruthless, fast, merciless. It's straight out of a military playbook.
And this is who they are at the start, right? The Peaky Blinders, a family of gangsters controlling the bookmaking game. And who's in charge? Thomas Shelby, a traumatized WWI vet. This isn't just a family, it's a unit. Aunt Polly was holding down the fort, sure, but now that the soldiers are home, Tommy is the CO, no questions asked. He's running the whole show with that same battlefield precision.
But you know, while he's winning all these battles on the outside, there's another war going on. It's the war inside him, the wounds you can't see. And that's the tragedy of it all. The very same trauma that makes him such a brilliant, forward-thinking strategist is also what's breaking him from the inside out.
And the symptoms are always there, aren't they? He's addicted to opium, just trying to numb everything. He's constantly haunted by visions of the trenches. You see it in his brother Arthur's violent outbursts, that raw PTSD. And for Tommy, the hallucinations of his dead wife, Grace, they are as real to him as you and me. He just cannot find peace.
You know, if the war gave him those first wounds, losing Grace was like ripping them wide open all over again. He had this one tiny moment of peace with her, and then it's just shattered. And what's left? Only the soldier. Only vengeance. That internal war just gets so much louder, so much more destructive. Which brings up a really interesting question. Could this nonstop conflict actually be where he gets his power from? I mean, think about it. The guy thrives in chaos because peace is totally alien to him. That trauma is what keeps him paranoid, it keeps him sharp, it keeps him thinking 10 steps ahead of everyone else. He can't stop fighting because he literally doesn't know how to live any other way.
And that ambition has a massive cost. This is a huge theme in his life. Every single victory comes with a loss. For every bit of power he gains, he loses a piece of himself, or worse, someone he cares about.
And you can just see this pattern play out over and over. In 21, he expands to London, takes on Darby Sabine, huge win. Then in 24, he marries Grace. He actually finds a moment of peace. And then, that same year, she's killed. His world is shattered. A couple years later, he defeats Luca Changretta, gets revenge for his family, but loses his brother John in the process. Then, in 29, he tries to take out Oswald Mosley, and it's a massive public failure. It's just this relentless, brutal cycle. Win, lose, gain, sacrifice.
And here's a perfect example of his mind at work. He's in that meeting with Luca Changretta, right? And he looks beaten. He's seemingly accepting defeat. But the whole thing is a trap. This is pure battlefield Tommy. He pretends to be weak, lets his enemy get cocky. Changretta thinks he's got him cornered, that he's won. Nope. He's just walked right into an ambush set by a guy who learned how to turn defeat into a kill shot back in the trenches.
So, okay, you've basically conquered the entire criminal underworld. Where do you go from there? Well, if you're Thomas Shelby, you look for a bigger war, a new battlefield, and he finds it in politics.
And let's be clear, this is not about him wanting to go legit. No way. This is about finding an enemy big enough, a war that actually matters. He's not fighting street gangs over turf anymore. He's fighting against the rise of fascism. He's up against an ideology that's trying to take over Europe. The stakes are just on another level entirely. So what does he do? He plays the double game. This is his most sophisticated strategy yet. He publicly aligns himself with the fascist leader, Oswald Mosley, but secretly, he's gathering intelligence, feeding it directly back to Winston Churchill, and all the while, he's plotting Mosley's assassination. It's the most dangerous game he's ever played, and it uses every skill he's ever learned: deception, infiltration, and planning for that one perfect moment to strike.
Which brings us all the way to the endgame, the final confrontation, what he believes will be his ceasefire. See, he thinks he's dying, so he puts together one last campaign, a final, meticulous plan to settle every score and maybe, just maybe, find his own peace in death.
And he goes through it like a checklist. This is his final act. Number 1, secure that last opium deal to set his family up forever. 2, avenge Polly's death at the hands of the IRA. 3, confront his own nephew, Michael Gray. And 4, prepare to die from a fatal illness. It's exactly like a soldier on his last mission, tying up every single loose end before the end.
But then, the ultimate twist. After all the gangsters, all the politicians, all the enemies he's outsmarted, his greatest enemy turns out to be a doctor. A doctor who hands him a death sentence. And for the first time, Tommy just accepts it. He thinks his war is finally, truly over.
Except it wasn't real. The diagnosis was a lie, a fabrication. It was cooked up by his fascist enemies, by Mosley's people, to take him off the board without firing a single shot. They knew they couldn't beat him in a straight fight, so they attacked his mind. They weaponized his own mortality against him. An absolutely brilliant and evil move.
But that just raises the ultimate question, right? How do you kill a man who is already dead? See, by believing he was going to die, Tommy had already made his peace. He'd let go of everything. So when he finds out it's a lie, he's not just saved from dying, he's actually reborn. He's finally free from that psychological death sentence he's been carrying since 1918.
So we see him ride away from the literal flames of his past, and for a moment, it feels like he's free. But it leaves you with this one last lingering thought. For a man like Thomas Shelby, a man literally forged in conflict, is the war ever truly over? Or is he just riding off to find the next one?